Hey there, Niiamah Ashong here, leader of the Trailblazer Collective and champion of leaders who are shaping the next era of humanity. Feels good to be in conversation with you right now because conversation is really the bedrock and the starting point for any new future to be obtained. And also with conversation comes this element of questions, the element of asking questions and looking into places that haven't been looked into before. And I'm going to put in one last thing here around this, which is the element of being open, of being in a place of exploration, openness, and really just possibility. I think those are the three things right now that are kind of the context of how I'm entering into this conversation here. Uh, I'm really thrilled because I get to spend some time with a good friend and esteemed colleague, uh, Brooke, and we're going to be spending some time in conversation with one another and being really in a space where we're able to explore whatever needs to be explored. I like to set this up here because there is this element of openness. There is this element of possibility. What we know coming into this conversation is that what we discuss here is going to be incredibly serving for the two of us in this conversation, and we'll be able to apply in whatever ways is necessary for any of you. So with that here, I invite you to come join us in this conversation here. I invite you to participate as you're participating by being a part of the conversation. This is something that the two of us are starting together, but you're also a part of it in your way. Brooke is one of the like Brooke. I need to talk to you. If I'm talking to everyone else, I'm gonna miss you in this moment here. Firstly, hi. It's good to see you. All right. Um, so Brooke, to me, I'm gonna unmute you now here. But you were one of the people who has known each other for a few years here, and I still remember the first time that like we came like we met and such. And you're one of the people who uh, honestly has taught me, even though we haven't spent all like a lot of time in conversation recently. I see the way that you show up. I see the way that you show up online. I see the way that I see the boldness in the words that you choose to use, and the way that you choose to show up. And I also see the element of uh, how do I say it? I'm going to call it the unapologetic element of like being out in the world as you. Um, in addition to that, Brooke, uh, one of the reasons that I'm grateful that we get to be in conversation and I can be here in service of you is that you are able to take the work that you do, which and like we can talk more about what that work is here, but
Mhm.
you're able
Sure.
to take that work that you do and connect it so well with the challenges and goals and dreams that people have. Like I read your things, I read what you write, I watch what you do, and I'm like, there's so much of this that you're able to keep the entire space of things working in a different plane and dimension than I might be putting my thoughts to, and make the direct connection to how my everyday life is impacted by like by not doing this. Not only my everyday life, but also my business. And
Mhm.
I think about that, and I think about you, and I really just I want to acknowledge you as we start out here, just like in the capacity of you and just how you show up. And I'm thrilled and honored to be just in conversation with you here.
Thank you. That's so sweet of you. I really appreciate that. I'm just noticing too, like your energy. I mean, I've mentioned this before in person, but like you have a very like comforting and open and I don't know, acknowledging energy. It's just it's very so everyone's energy is so different, but like I'm just sitting here noticing as you were speaking, like he's so connected. It's really good to talk to you because like you're so connected. Do you know what I mean? It's like even through the screen, it's like, so I just wanted to appreciate that and acknowledge that too. It's very rare to like be very connected in a conversation with someone, especially like you're in Singapore, I'm in Tennessee, it's a different day. So I appreciate that. It's nice. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for calling that out. I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that we're here. I'm glad that we're
Yeah.
here, Brooke. Now we've had like the introduction out there. We were talking beforehand. We've had an introduction here. Let's really get into like the next part of our conversation together.
Okay.
And I would love to stay with the connection that's there. I like in my mind. I love that like that. Really, I was like, I don't know what that is per se, but I'm feeling it.
Right.
Like. And so let's do this here. Let's have a conversation of service, whatever that needs to be. Right, I'm open to whatever that needs to be here. Um,
I
I
was
don't know.
really resonating with, I don't know, when you said the word possibility,
Yeah,
I felt my heart be like, ooh, that feels really nice.
yeah.
Something about
Okay.
the openness of that feels really good to me. There's no detail that came through with that. It was just like
Yeah.
possibility. It's like relaxed to think about it.
Tell me more about your experience with it. So the word possibility came up. Like, what did you feel inside?
As soon as because you were talking and you were talking about openness and then you mentioned the word possibility. And as soon as you said the word possibility, I could feel my whole body relax. Like it was a relief to just be open to possibility versus knowing exactly what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Because we have to kind of do that as business people. It's like, I have to have a plan. And I understand that. And also sometimes it's nice to just be like, what else is possible though?
Look, I'll be quite happy to meet you in that space here. I know for me, you're experiencing part of like where like how I play in the space. What I mean by that, what I mean by that is, um, I'm someone that's very possibility focused. Like my overall vision of the world is a world where there's no longer any problems left to solve. And like for some people, they're like, that sounds really great. For other people, they're like, wait a minute, like that's my gift, like solving problems. Like I'm like, is that why you
Mm-hmm.
create so many problems? Like I would rather like if can we use that and can we use that in a different way? So my general thing is to like allow for the openness of this year. I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, where do people go? Like, because you're right. Like as business owners, as leaders, like we're like we need to. There's an element of like we need to show up and like we know what we're doing, we have the plan, and so on and so forth. But Brooke, I'm also like we're in the middle of a completely unprecedented time. The amount of uncertainty that's around us is like tremendous, and yet like
Mm-hmm.
there's still like this air of like we need to know what it is like before there's some air of like we need to have the certainty there. I'm like for me, what I have found, especially when uncertainty comes in, is like it's to be in that space of exploration, to be in that space of experimentation, and to have real, open, connected conversations. So we're collaborating and sharing along the way there. So let's play with this. Let's play with this here. Know that this is a place of possibility. Know that this is a place where, like, honestly, you don't need to get, and there's nowhere to go. Nor is there anything that we need to get right in the
Mm-hmm.
conversation at all. Um, I think to myself, I'm like, how do people
I'm
know?
super open to being led too. So it's actually like it's really nice to be like, because I'm anybody who's listening, like I'm a coach as well. So it's kind of nice to just be like, coach me. I
Okay.
don't have to do anything.
All right, cool. Then let's play that there. Let's play that, and I'm gonna take you up on that. Like I'm like it looks like you're coaching yourself there, Brooke. So here goes. I'll lead you in something that's curious for me. Um, so let's go into possibility. Let's stay with this. One of the things for me that's important is looking to see what is the world that we are shaping going to look like. That's a big thing on my mind, which is like right now with all the uncertainty that's out in the world. To me, I look at it as just it's malleability. The fixed, rigid structures of the past are all up for grabs. The way that things have been are like no longer need to be the way that things are. And yes, there's uncertainty in what it's going to look like, but I promise you, someone is out there shaping what that's going to look like. And I love to be in spaces with people who choose to be part of the shaping process, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we take ourselves right now to, let's say, January 2nd of 2021, right? So the January 2nd of this next year,
Okay.
right? Imagine in a world where like things have been shaped in various ways where we've actually been able to like craft out and bring out more of our possibilities there. If you like seeing yourself on that on January 2nd, 2021 there, what would we need to talk about today? Go ahead and see that. What would we need to talk about today that would really serve the vision of what you see for yourself in 2021?
That's a really interesting question. Hold on. Let me, I tend to see visions or like visuals or whatnot. So as you said, January 2nd, 2021, I zipped onto the beach in Ireland, or it was somewhere in England or the UK maybe. It's like really big, sort of blustery hair. Not that it's not big and blustery right now, but bigger apparently. And there was something there about relationships that was up. And when she was looking back at this, that's what was present, was specifically, like, it's funny, it's what we were kind of talking about at the beginning. I feel like people have maybe forgotten how to really be in relationship. Not all people, but I feel like it's so important to like be connected really, and be vulnerable really, and share really, and like, I don't know, like physically talk about that and lead people, it's definitely relationship based, and which was shocking to me that came up, because I thought it was going to be like, something else. Um, but that's what is up if I consider January 2nd, 2021 and look back.
Awesome. You said the word really. There's a tone to the really that really struck me, right? To be in connection really and so forth there. Like help me see, like, for you, what does that mean?
So I understand that like everybody's at different levels and different places in their lives and different levels of consciousness and awareness and intelligence. I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I'm a little like loopy.
You're good. You're good.
So it means like being able to sit down with someone and talk to them, but actually like really talk to them and listen and be heard. This is what it is. There's a difference between like having a conversation with someone and just talking. You know what I mean? But between that and having a conversation with someone and feeling seen while you're talking, and also seeing while you're talking, and also listening and being listened to. There's like a being seen and heard component that is, I feel, for me at least, pretty rare. Like, it's very surprising and pleasant and like magical when it happens. I'm like, oh goody, one of those nice real conversations. But normally I found like it's hard to genuinely, and I'm not talking about just connection, but I mean like feeling connected. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this call, it's like I can feel you very viscerally, like your energy is very palpable to me. Like there's no question that you're present. There's no question. It's like, duh, he's present. But if I were to go to like the bar or a restaurant or like, I don't know, somewhere else and just sit down and chat with someone, I find myself longing for somebody who's able to just be like, I'm here. What's up? And I actually feel the presence of them seeing me and hearing me. Do you know what I mean?
I
Presence
do.
is probably the word that I'm looking for here. I think people are missing presence, true presence. And it's so medicinal when you feel it, though. You know, somebody's presence is medicinal.
I'm feeling you strongly right there. I'm feeling you really, really strongly, Brooke. You know, and as you say it, there's the element of being present, and then bringing presence.
Yeah.
Um, and what I'm hearing from you also is like, from let me know if I'm on the right path here, but it's like for it to be just like integrated in life, such that it's like it's not just like we're both coaches here. It's not the spaces that we create for coaching and transformation, and like now there's presence that's coming to the table. It's actually something that flows out.
I just was remembering a quote that I was reading about the alchemy of consciousness.
Yeah, tell me.
And it's essentially, I don't know if I can find it just off the top of my head, but the gist of it is something like alchemy happens naturally, like transformation essentially happens naturally when you bring the fullest presence of consciousness to a thing.
Mm.
So for a person individually, like for me, it's what I do with my clients is I'm basically just guiding their awareness to whatever thing needs their attention. And then, you know, their awareness or my ability to hold them in that awareness kind of just heals the thing naturally. Do you know what I mean?
I
And
do.
like, if I'm sitting here thinking like, ooh, I've got a headache, really all I have to do is bring my full attention and presence to the place that hurts. And it just dissolves for me because I've practiced that. And that's what I haven't had that awareness before. But when I said presence is medicinal, I was like, it's the same thing with relationship. Like I can have my awareness be present and alchemize inside of me, but I know that my presence is also alchemizing for others in the same way that your presence is alchemizing for others. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're fully present, there's just all kinds of like really interesting, magical things that happen.
So with that, there, like, there's two things that come up to mind. One is for you, Brooke, like where like where is your presence like being longed for right now?
Where's my presence? Like, what part of the world wants me, or what part of the world do I want? Or both. Dun dun dun.
Dun
Uh,
dun dun. No, I like for me. Let me. I'll rephrase it. Like the element here is you talked about longing. You talked about like longing for to be in presence with others. And then you're also talking about the presence being medicinal. And
mm,
so what I like to do is just explore a little bit more. Like, okay, give like if those two are both true here, where's the element where it's either missing for you right now, or a place where you feel that you're like actually there's something that could use some alchemizing, and I like where's the place where
mm,
your presence would actually be medicinal.
mm. Yeah. So as you were right before you asked that question, I was having an aha moment.
Hmm.
Um, so like the people that work with me, my clients tend to get like massive results, and it doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense logically or practically. And it was just occurring to me that I'm very present, and if what I'm saying is true, that presence is alchemizing, then like I was just having a moment like, oh yeah, no wonder like all of my clients get wild, insane results because I'm fully present with them. And I've known that intellectually, but I just connected a dot just there. So that was really helpful. Um, and I feel like for me personally, ooh, there's emotion there. I feel like I show up. Oh, that's. I feel like I'm, I show up for people very naturally. Um, and that it's part of who I am, but I don't have a lot of people show up for me, like full presence. I do have some people, but it's mostly me doing the work.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm feeling that right now. I'm imagining, well, I'm feeling, give me a second. Cause that actually, it's hitting me really, really hard. Like my hands on my chest right here. Um, I'm feeling it, I think, because it's something that I also look for and I long for, uh,
Mm,
just to be in, to experience that depth, but also, and this is something that comes up here, and I'm realizing as we're talking that I'm like, for you to be, for you to have the magic of you brought to you, like brought, so that the presence is with you, and I will call out like, I am present and I am with you. I don't know what needs to happen out of this space here, but like, I got your back on that, right? I got your back on that. The element of being able to be led as
yeah.
opposed to lead there, like,
I
uh
love leading, and I'm not saying that I don't want to lead anymore, but it would be nice to be led sometimes
yeah, this it is, and
by people that I trust and who are present. I'm not talking about being led by a politician because that's
yeah,
just
yeah,
hooey, you know.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And like, but I think there's a part of me right now that like, that really, that like deeply feels that element of like, and I can feel myself getting the problem solving mode. This is why I'm talking it out loud here,
Mm.
so we get actually into Serena debate more in the possibility space. But I want to like just call out what it is that I'm hearing. Um, that in terms of people bringing their presence to you, in terms of people like being in a space where you can be led, where you can actually just relax and not have to,
Yeah.
like, there's this element that just feels like there's like you
It's so
got
nice.
in, you're holding, go ahead.
That would be so nice. I
Yeah.
don't receive that often.
Do you know what that looks like and feels like for you? Yeah, yeah, I'm curious.
Hmm. You know, it's funny. I would say that like that's masculine energy, like the leading, sort of providing, doing energy. Um, and ironically, like I'm so everybody I believe has both, but I'm very good at being in masculine energy and like penetrating down to the core of issues and seeing things and all the um and I need people to do that for me too sometimes. So I've experienced maybe I could probably count on one hand over the span of my lifetime. I'm just going to say men because it's easier for me to notice that being led fully and trusting the leadership. And a man, been very rare that I can trust a man to lead me or feel. There's a very palpable feeling when I'm in the presence of masculine energy. I feel seen, I feel heard, I feel supported, and there's something that happens when all of that combines that makes me feel unstoppable without putting in any effort. It's so nice. God, it's so nice when that happens. It's like, woo, like it's such a relief. It's rare. I would say with women, hmm, it's probably just as rare, I guess, to feel like I'm being led or coached or supported by women. Gosh.
Well, let's like, there's something in there around, for me energetically, when you were talking about like, when you're talking about masculine energy coming
Mm.
from men, there was just a completely different energetic like space than you were when you talked about it with
Oh
women.
yeah, it's so
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah. So let's get in there, because there's also this element of being unstoppable that showed up there.
Okay.
And I think it was this there, that part to me really plays itself out here. It's really interesting, Brooke, because I'm just thinking back on conversations from years ago, like when we first met, and like, and this like part, like some of these themes had showed up in different ways, in that way there, and I found myself, I didn't have the words for it at that time, but I found myself like really searching for like what that would be for you, right? And I think the element here is not that I want you to have the answer for it, like, because I know that is not serving. It's not in that place, but there's places here where I'm like, two things. Two things.
Mhm.
One is that I'm like I would love to bring that energy to this conversation and into you.
Sure.
I'm like, and I can find myself in here. Like, is it there? Like, can I serve on that level, right? And it's not about questions or coaching. It's not that, but it's really like meeting you in that place. And the other side of it is, I'm like, there are three people that come to mind that I feel like I really want to make sure I introduce you to, who just like who just live in that space,
Mm.
um, and there's elements there where I'm like. Yeah, I that feels very real for me. I think I just needed a presence that in this
Okay.
conversation,
Yeah.
so that like so that I didn't like run around it or have it play out in the back of the mind there. Right. Tell me
Okay.
more about unstoppable for you.
So I feel like for me, in my experience, I've noticed that I can go unstoppable in two ways. I can It's basically masculine. It's like the hustle and the doing and the like buck up and go, and like I can feel unstoppable, but it's very short lived because I usually burn out pretty quickly. You know what I mean? So that like, you know, it's unstoppable feeling, but it goes away pretty fast. The other unstoppable feeling for me, I wish we had a different word in the language because it's a different feeling. The
What's
other unstoppable feeling is like feeling so supported, not even necessarily by anything that's being said or done, but just like a knowing that I'm supported, that I can trust that support, that it's kind of reliable, kind of is reliable. Um, it sounds cheesy. It kind of makes me feel like I can blossom
mm,
and just keep blossoming and opening. So it's less like a charging horse unstoppable and more like an ocean that's just going to keep, it's just going to keep going. Like, and, but there's no doingness behind it. It's more of a
yeah,
feeling and a state.
yeah.
Does that make sense?
Brooke, everything you have said to me has made sense.
Okay.
And I say that because I want you to know, like when I say I got your back, I got you. Like when you talk, it is crystal clear to me, and the elements when it is not clear, I will let you know. I will ask, but like generally, like I am with you. Like
Okay.
you don't have to worry about that. Um, I'm hearing from you, like there's an energy source that can come out where you can tap into like you know a fuel of the short-lived fuel of energy gives you that burst of energy you can like push through and so forth, but like what's really for you is like this evergreen, sustainable, like replenishing, blossoming that
Mm.
like that just allows whatever comes out there to it's almost like I picture you almost like when you're saying it's like lilies or something like on like a pod that just like
Mm.
there's no stopping it and it exponentially increases and like you know day after day after day it just like it just continues to grow. You
Yeah,
bring out the
like nature is pretty unstoppable.
yeah,
It just
yeah,
keeps going. You know what I mean?
that's I'm feeling that element there. So let me ask you, um, if you were to trust that you had that in this conversation right here, right? If we didn't have to like, if it was already present here for you, where would you
Mhm.
take the conversation from there? Where would you go next if that was already present for you? If you were in that space of just blossoming, knowing I got your back. And as you're with that, I'm gonna let you keep thinking on that, but I'm also realizing that maybe getting your back is not the place for you and us in this relationship here. Maybe it's I got your front. That would be out there where it's like actually like there's something in there around like the relational.
Or I see you would work.
Say it again.
I see you would work.
Yeah. Well, Brooke, I see you, and I would love to see you more, but like I really do see you. I see you and I hear you and I understand you.
From that place, the word relationship just keeps coming up again.
What do we
Um,
like? What like? Where's the place that you're not going with it? Because you keep we
I
can go in.
keep dancing around it. I know. Where's the place I'm not going? I think I just crave more of them. Generally, real present relationships. I mean, I could say that I'm craving a romantic relationship too. And also, there's what we talked about at the very beginning. I feel like is popping in. Like, it's ironic. Like, it's usually like the medicine that we think we need is also the medicine that we give.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
it's not ironic to me at all. It's like I constantly look out for it when I'm with people, right? Because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what is the thing that you like? I use the word longing for a reason. Like we become amazing at it. We
Mm,
become because we're looking
yeah.
for it, we get good at it, and we give it to people because we know that's what we ourselves need. It's not ironic in the least bit to me. This is like it makes perfect sense. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's
I find myself wanting to do. I don't like the term relationship coaching. Really, I don't feel inclined to move in the direction of like necessarily helping people as like a relationship therapist, like solving problem. Like that doesn't interest me. But helping a man become more present in his masculine energy and helping a woman become more present in her feminine energy, that interests me. And helping them like genuinely connect in their presence, like that fucking interests me. You know, like I'm good with it. I've been doing that with women. I'm about to do like a whole thing around that with women. And I haven't really gone there, at least not publicly, with men. Like, do you want me to help you be more of a man? Like,
no,
like,
like and as you say that, Brooke, like there's a part of me that that notices my own energy on it, and it that like there's a part of me that's like, yeah, but that would again be you having to lead men in how to be men, you know. And
yeah.
I'm much more interested for you. Like I care too deeply to like have you have to go down another variation of that because we create what it is that we want,
Mm,
right? And my thing for you is like, what
I
if we
feel
can
you.
just get you what you want? Like I'm like in my mind, I'm thinking as we're talking, like, where are the men? Like, where do we go where the men have already done this work? Where do we go with the like? Where do we go?
I feel the same.
How yeah? How do we like the possibility I'm living into right now? Like is like you enter a bar, right? And like the social construct of a bar right now. Say it again.
And then they just right.
Well, like however that works, like
Mhm.
to me, it's like it's like a plentiful. There's two things. One, it's not a surprise. It's almost it's just part of the it's just part of how people like it's just part of that interaction, and be like you it's palpable whatever it is out there like you're able to get it. I think that there is an element here for you in particular. Like for me, I'm happy to take on like learning like doing the work to help cultivate more men out in the world that will show up powerfully for powerful women like yourself and others, right?
Mhm.
But like to me it feels like if you went down that path of trying to create that for others, you would be able to make it happen for others, but they will never ever actually be able to meet you on your level because of just the dynamic and how it's set up there. So like my invitation is to not go down that path. Go ahead.
I just I just realized I just relaxed a little bit because I just realized like no, I've been so accustomed to having coaching conversations around business that my mind just automatically went there. It's like, well, maybe I can help men be more masculine. And I had to remind myself, this isn't a business conversation, bro. Like we're talking. We're talking about being a human. Like he's just literally trying to help you find something that you want. You don't have to talk about making a business out of it. So that was the moment that I had. I was like, oh, you just talk about me as a human. Cool. Have to
Welcome to
go
present.
make a living out of it.
Well, look, here goes the deal, Brooke. Welcome to presence, right? Like, like we can talk to you about making a living out of it. The thing about it is that it didn't excite me because I know that you can make a living out of it. Like there's no major conversation.
You're saying that, like, how can I support you and just like being in the presence of more men who are more present and who could just lead you just because they fucking want to, not because they're paying me or, hiring me or whatever.
Those men, here's the thing, a lot of the men that you will bring into your business because you're helping them to become more present as a man, generally, for like in terms of it feeling like I do believe like we teach what we most need to learn. We offer what we most want to receive, right?
Mm-hmm.
From that place, I'm looking at that as like, okay, it's clearly a clue, like this is what you want. But like the men that you are bringing through that journey wouldn't be the men that already
Oh,
have what you want. So like
right.
if you're
So I'd
choosing
still be, yeah, I get it. I'd still be a little bit, frustrated or disappointed, whatever the
exactly,
word is. Yeah. Yeah.
you as you would still be exactly where you are. You'd be making
Yeah.
money and your business would be fine, but like you got the business stuff down. Like I started this whole thing off by saying that like you can take concepts in the way that you show up and make it directly applicable. It doesn't like I don't get any energy from it because I'm like, of course you can make a business out of that. That's not like I've seen the way that you show up already. You find the word, you do what it is, and you bring your power to the equation. You'll make the business out of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
putting more money in the bank account or having other people that are paying you to lead them through this isn't going to fundamentally change what it is that you're looking for. And my like if the past Brooke would have gone out and said, okay, I'm going to go and help build that out myself, I'm saying I'll take that work on, right? And continue to work on that with others. If you were just able to enter a world where that was already taken care of for
Yeah.
yes, like it's what comes next. Um, Brooke, I'm mindful of time. I see this here. Do you have a few extra minutes to as we wrap up this
Oh,
conversation?
sure. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. This other thing that I'm also mindful of, which is that my presence is going in different directions because I have to use the restroom. Do you mind if I pause and come back?
No, go for it.
I'll be right back. Brooke, I just mentioned like that element of like, hey, I actually need to step out in order to be back in presence. I don't like that is something that I actually practice.
Mm.
There's someone called it out for me. It's like you couldn't wait until the end of the session, and I'm like, no, I actually need to step out. He's like, oh, I get it because my presence, like I can't actually be actually present.
Present if you're, yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And so like it's part of the reason why I was like I could have paused this and said it and just like told you privately, but I'm like I left it on here in this conversation because I'm like if we're talking about cultivated men that are going to show up and be present in elements there, it's like where are those like social like the social norms that feel like they're either polite or whatever it is that just are throwing off what we're really craving, you know. The bar scene in general, to me, I'm like, generally speaking, um on one hand it feels like it'd be really really wonderful to enter a conversation with someone that's really present, and at the other end it's I could feel it being like, wait, here, like what's where what, like how's that showing up, like why is that showing up in this space. So with you Brooke, like as we start wrapping up our conversation, um I find myself really present to two things. Firstly, um I'm like, oh wait, no, I do I can be there for you as needed. Like, what's the reason I keep asking the question about what if it was already there, is that I
Mm-hmm.
realize like in this conversation you can simply experience it. Like you don't have to fix that for yourself. I can already hold you in that. All right.
Okay.
And I want to like make sure that it's not just the hypothetical
Like,
theoretical.
good night. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And like,
to do
well,
anything
like you
else.
can like and that's the thing. Like if like for me, I don't like however you choose to show up, I got it. Right. Like I think that's it. So like if the thing is good night and you're relaxed and you're like, because I feel that you're like
I was
like every
teasing. I was like, that would feel so good that I would just be like, okay, bye bye.
Yeah, no, but like I'm not teasing. I'm being very honest. Like if hey bye bye is what would like really serve, and like if that's what like actually feels like being held there. So like just know like I'm down for that. Like that's me. That's where like I'm so down for that overall. So we'll end this here with just one last question, and it goes back to that element here. And this is where I think the possibility part come in. It may not be something we need to explore right now, but it is going to be my invitation for you here, and we can have another conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I get really curious about what is the possibility like of like Brooke just being able to be in the blossom, be it like to just be in that blossom there and to see like okay, if you were just in that space or able to be in that space there, what and how would things be created from that perspective,
Okay.
right? And then
Mm-hmm.
from those other elements here, like I'm hearing it goes how do I say it? I can't put my words to it exactly, but it's in the space of when those men do show up for you in relationship in whatever way that it is, whether it's business, it's romantic, whatever it is there. Um, I would love for the space for you to actually be held in it to come up, so that because a part of me was questioning, I'm like would you know how to receive that? Like you're like a handful of people have met me at this level, you know, and I'm like I got curious. I'm like, would you know how to receive it if someone was coming and bringing it in there? Is it that it's not showing up? Is it that like the space isn't being created? Is it that when it is happening, it's like it isn't necessarily uh, easy to receive. I get curious about that.
I honestly feel like it's not showing up, and I don't like to use that language. And I'm just now realizing what that vision that I had at the very beginning of the call was when I said I was in Ireland.
Yeah.
Um, there was a woman in Ireland. Well, we were on leading a retreat in Ireland, and the one of the co-leaders. This was like back in 2017, I think. One of the co-leaders said to me, we were just finished the retreat, and I was about to go to England to visit some friends. And there was like a man over there that I was going to see too. And she said, she looked me in the eye and she goes, "You deserve to be met. Like you deserve to be met." And so when
Yes.
you just said, are people meeting you? I just pinged back to that moment, the vision in Ireland, because that was a connection moment. Um, and I don't think that it's me having trouble receiving. It could have been that case when I was younger.
Mhm.
Um, I I think that it's just not happening very regularly,
Yeah.
or I can notice it for very fleeting amounts of time in a person, but they sort of like dip out or ghost or go distant, or it's like they're in and out just as fast. That was not a pun. um, um, yeah, it's not really happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so first, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for being real around it. Like, it, yeah. As soon as you said like it's like you deserve to be met, I was like, hell yes. This absolutely hell yes. And the questions that keep going on in my mind are um, it's like how do you not have to cultivate that, right? Because that is not you like necessarily being met. And it's like and I just want to just like kind of call out like if there's a tendency to have to go and create it, then like you're not being met, right? And doesn't need to be a hard and fast, but I just want to like offer that as an invitation of like a way of seeing it, where it's like in my mind the question that keeps coming up is like where do we go such that presence is like the baseline way that people interact. I'm like, does it happen in the bar? Like, is that the place that like to really get what it is that you're looking for here?
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that people that there may not be present men in there, but are they showing up in the real masculinity that you're looking for in that space? Um,
Not really. I mean, I can have fun with non-present men. You know,
Yeah.
like conversations can be fun. I can dance, we can sing, you know, but it's not ultimately going to serve me because I won't feel met, you know.
Yeah. So that's like, I can feel myself in some way, shape, or form being like, all right, I can feel myself like wanting to release you of having to have to create it, and instead just like
Just
being,
send them my way. Just
yeah.
call
Well, like
out the sounding horn. Like,
I've, I've thrown that out there, and like, and I'll make this here, like this was like the last comment for here, but it's like one of the things I want to call out is like how much like there. This is what I want to say. You are an incredible person who is longing for these things, right?
yeah,
The number of people that I talk to who, whenever they're given an opportunity or the opportunity presents itself, or they create or the opportunity is created for them to show up with presence, for them to bring their energy to the mix, for them to really show up for other people, they look at the environment around them, they look at their past experiences, and they don't show up. They wait for a quote unquote safe place to go, or no one else will want it. And I just want to just kind of call out how badly people are longing for and desiring for people to bring themselves and to step into what is actually there. The constructs around us, the systems and the environments around us may not seem to be conducive to it, but a lot of times it's because we are continuing to play into it. And so like Brooke, I'm thankful for you because like you're surfacing something that I feel is just immensely important. Like there are like it would almost feel radical to bring that level of presence to a conversation in any place there. It actually doesn't almost, it feels radical. I know it because I live it. I go to barbecues out here and I'm like, no, I don't care what you do. I don't care where you've been. Like, I need to see you.
yeah,
Yeah, I need to see you. You know,
yeah.
it's a lot.
Hmm.
It's a lot. And the world, and like, and I want to thank you for asking for that and putting it out here because I think there's a shift that needs to happen where people can actually feel more in themselves, even though the rest of the world hasn't necessarily caught up to it.
Hmm.
So, so thank you, Brooke. I'm glad we got to spend some time here together. I'm glad that we get to be in conversation, and I will be sending them your way. But like also from the standpoint of doing my part here to cultivate and to bring that forth out in the world.
Hmm.
Right?
Thank you.
Absolutely. Hey, Niiamah here. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and then go ahead and leave one of your insights from today's video in the comments below. If you're looking to take this deeper, you can go and watch another video, or you can go to niiamah.com/tribe to get exclusive invitation to our tribe member only events. I'll see you soon.